Hello and welcome to Breathworks for Joy. Today I thought I'd like to come on here and inquire, how's your footing? How is your footing? That just seems so profound to me right now. How is my footing? Because my feet are so far away from my brain. And sometimes I get so caught up into my day and my thoughts and my to-do list that I lose my footing. I lose my grounding. And so I thought I'd come in here and share a very fun, I find it to be rather fun, exercise to really kind of just drop the energy back down into my feet where I can root and get grounded through the foundation of my being connected to the earth. And I have two little props. One is a tennis ball, and the other is some massage oil. And I'm just gonna start actually by kind of just marching in place, kind of stimulating the bottom of my feet. I had a teacher, and I still have a teacher, that says, Brittle Feet, Brittle Organs. And if you've ever looked at a foot reflexology chart, you can see how there are certain points on the foot that correspond to certain organs, and how all of the energy lines run into the feet. So I like to march, get them nice and stimulated, and then find my stance, finding Tadasana. Equally standing. Yeah, equally standing from right to left, front to back. You can even move slightly forward and back, rocking from the mound of the foot to the heel of the foot, from side to side, until you find that sweet spot where you're on the tripod of your foot, the mound of the big toe, the pinky toe, the front of the heel. Just finding your stance and noticing, like I am noticing right now, that I have more weight on the right side of my body than I do my left side of my body. So how do I play with shifting some of that weight over to the other side? Noticing where you feel your feet connected to the ground, and where there is perhaps an uprooting. Yeah, okay, so this is our base. This is our base for our exploration, for our savajja. And then I'm gonna take this tennis ball. I'm gonna place this tennis ball so that the ball of my foot, from the mound of my big toe to my pinky toe, can come and rest on it. I'm gonna rest the ball of my foot here, my heel is on the ground, and I am spreading my toes. I'm gonna find my stance again. How do I find Tadasana with this ball underneath the ball of my foot? Relaxing my shoulders, taking my sits bones and dropping them down so I can engage deep core muscles, drawing them up and in. Shaking out the hands if you need to. And I'm really just allowing downward pressure into the ball of my foot. And then I'm gonna roll this ball underneath my foot from the mound of the big toe over to the pinky toe. And yes, there will be times where the ball will slide out, move away, and we will just go and get it. So, just rocking this ball over from the mound of the big toe to the pinky toe. And as you work through this process of massaging the foot, opening up the energy lines, softening the fascia, you might discover that there are some places that are a little bit more sensitive. Yeah, and if you find that sweet spot, you can always stop for a second or two, a breath or two. And then you can continue just rocking that ball side to side, massaging it over the ball of the foot. Lovely. From here, I'm going to actually now bring the ball of my foot that I was just massaging in front of the ball, so that as I place my foot down, the ball comes right underneath the arch of my foot. Once again, I'm going to let my sits bones drop down underneath my pubic bone. I'm going to begin to engage my transverse abdominis muscles, soften the shoulders, and then I'm just going to let the weight of my arch release onto the ball of the foot. Another teacher of mine calls this particular point the bubbling spring. It's where that yin energy, that energy of life force, begins to draw up and into our bodies. So you can maybe imagine that as that ball presses into the arch of the foot and the arch of the foot releases into the ball of the foot. Just imagining this bubbling spring beginning to bubble up into the leg and draw all the way up into the body. Cycle of breath or 2. And this might feel a little sensitive as well. And notice how we respond to that sensitivity. Is there resistance? Do we want to move away from it? Is it too uncomfortable? So just playing around where that edge is for you and how long you can sustain this while staying connected and calm with the breath. From here, I am going to now move on to my heel. So, ball of the foot is still on the ground, but I'm going to place the heel of my foot directly onto the ball. Place your hands on your sacrum for a moment. So for me, there's this corresponding energy from the heel of my foot to my sacrum. That's why I'm placing my hand here. In my Thai massage work, when I beat on the heels of the person that I'm working on, right? There's this release in the lower back, right? Into the sacral lumbar area. So just allow those sits bones again just to drop down, core engaged, shoulders soft. Just allowing that tension to move through the body instead of being lodged somewhere. Take one more breath, trying to find that neutrality through our Tadasana. Lovely. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ball and I am going to roll it through the whole foot. And I'm going to take it from the front of my heel, and then I'm going to come up to the mount of the big toe, and from the heel to my second, third, fourth, and then fifth, right? So imagining these lines of energy from the front of the heel, and I'm massaging the foot, relaxing my hands. If you want to hold a wall, for support, use a wall or hold on to the back of a chair. You always have that option to help create more stability so you can focus on the task at hand. And again, this ball might slide away. I'm going to go to my second line. Toes spreading, just really allowing the channels of the feet to open. And then to the third. For those of us that might wear tight shoes, rock climbing shoes, cycling shoes, high heels, right? That all has an impact on our feet because we don't typically walk around barefoot anymore. So, I'm about on the fourth line, heading towards that pinky toe. And this feels so good. Woo-wee. Going to the pinky toe now. Yeah. Great. And then when you're done, just give it a shake. And I'm going to come to stand back in Tadasana. And as I stand in Tadasana, I can really feel the difference between my right foot and even the energy in my leg in comparison to the left side, which I haven't worked yet. So now I'm going to do the same sequence on the other side. So, starting with the heel on the ground, the ball of the foot is going to go right into the tennis ball, toes spreading. Great, find your neutral stance here, okay? Sits bones drop, core engaged. Just allowing that downward pressure. And then I'm going to roll the ball from side to side. And you can take as much time in this exploration and this massage as you want. Sometimes there's a little bit more coordination on one side of the body than the other side of the body. So just bringing some curiosity and some humor and some understanding that, you know, this might be a new exercise for you, a new practice. Okay, from here I'm going to bring the ball of my foot forward. I'm going to step up a little bit, find my stability, and then I'm going to bring my arch onto the ball of the foot. Yeah. As the ball of my foot, I'm going to repeat that. As the ball of my foot stays on the ground, I'm going to let the arch of my foot release down into the ball. And then the ball, I can feel that ball rise up to meet it. Coming right into that kidney point for me, that bubbling spring. Finding the breath, letting the breath support you wherever you're at here. You can even place the hands on the belly, one on the chest, a place to anchor the body. Using the wall, a chair, if you need that extra support. And completing your nice exhalation. I'm going to transfer this ball now to the heel of my foot as I press my heel down into the ball. I'm just going to step up a little bit again so I can find that neutrality, find balance, right? Find my footing, find my footing. Letting all of that mental energy drop down into the physical body and rooting myself into the here and now. And I can feel as I press into this ball, my tennis ball, I can feel my knee, inside my knee, having little micro adjustments. So it's pretty fascinating, you know, as you just allow yourselves to feel into the body. Notice what you notice. And at the same time as we notice things, just also not being attached to them, right? There can be curiosity, but just noticing where the mind goes with that information. One more breath. And now from the front of the heel, I'm going to begin to massage towards the mound of the big toe. There is a little balance here, right? As I balance on the right side of my body. And I'm going to go from the front of my heel to my second toe, to the third toe, to the fourth toe, to my fifth toe. And I am kind of moving this along because I'm about to teach a class. But I wanted to have a moment just to share this practice with you because it's so fundamental for the health of the body. Getting over to that pinky toe. This is something you can do at your desk if you sit, right? Keep a ball nearby. I take it to work. And shake that foot. Great. And then come back to stand. And then finding your stance, just notice the sensation on this left side, how it feels compared to the right. And then just noticing after this, you can always take the massage oil and then massage your feet. I hope you have a wonderful day and you find your footing.